Welcome back to Unsolicited Advice, the show where I take the letters you write other people and give my 2 cents. Let's see what we got. All right, this first letter is from Miss Manners. Dear Miss Manners, my fiance and I moved to a new neighborhood, and our neighbors have been really friendly, dropping by to introduce themselves. One of our neighbors really likes to talk and comes over a little more frequently. One night, he rang the doorbell at 9 p.m. just as we were sitting down to a late dinner. We had been painting all day. He was bringing us some oranges from his tree. He chatted with us for about 10 minutes, then left. After he was gone, I started wondering, are we supposed to always invite our neighbors inside when they come over? We're still unpacking. Our house is far from tidy, and sometimes when they stop by, it's at an inconvenient time. At the same time, I don't want to be considered rude. Girl, please. No, gentle reader, you are not obligated to invite your neighbors inside your house every time they come over. Actually, you are not obligated to invite your neighbors inside anytime they come over. And frankly, you're not obligated to invite anybody inside anytime they come over, if they come over unannounced. And I don't care if you've been living in the house for 10 years. Like, nobody gets to just show up and get an invitation inside your house. 9 p.m., 9 a.m., 2 p.m., middle of the fucking day. If you did not invite a person to your home and they show up unannounced, you are not obligated to invite them in. You are not even obligated to acknowledge their presence at your door. I'm just saying, don't come over unannounced. Don't do that. Why are we doing that? Who's doing that? Who's doing that? Don't do that. That's my 2 cents. Our next letter is from the Dear Annie advice column. Dear Annie, I want to start online dating again. I'm a 32-year-old woman who has a history of online dating, and in my profile, I was always honest, maybe too honest, about myself. The problem is, I have a speech impediment. Some say it sounds like an accent with a mixture of Elmer Fudd. I'm sorry. My pronunciation of certain words is horrible. My question is, should I put that I have a speech impediment on my profile or wait till a match gets to know me more and then tell them? When I used to date, I would mention it in my profile and I would always attract the wrong guys. Guys who will take advantage of my biggest insecurities and the judgmental type too. A part of me wants to be honest up front, but then the other part feels they need to gain my trust first. I'm feeling torn on what to do. Any advice? Signed, speed bump in my search. Whew. Speed bump. I don't think you should put it in your profile. I think that's probably not a good idea. Because to your point, you probably just attract the wrong type of person. You can't get specific enough in a dating profile for someone to make a for real decision about that. People are gonna form an idea of what that is. It could be a lot worse than what your speech impediment actually is. You can't put I have a speech impediment on a dating profile and just leave it to people's imaginations. I know me personally, I'm gonna see that and imagine Mike fucking Tyson. That's just me. Because I don't have enough information. So I think you should just show up as yourself. Like, when people talk to you, they'll hear the speech impediment and they can decide for themselves whether or not that works for them or if that doesn't work for them. But I don't think you should lead with it. I think you should meet people as you are. Your speech impediment is not who you are. And so I think you should meet people as who you are. Let them decide whether or not all of that together works for them. That's my 2 cents. All right, our next letter is from Dear Abby. Dear Abby, my husband has a terrible habit. He loves to order dessert first and asks that it be served to him after the wait staff takes everyone's order. Last night, we were at a birthday party with 15 adults in a restaurant and he did it again. They served a wonderful cake for dessert, which he enjoyed at the end of the meal, as well as his pie at the beginning when no one else was having anything but drinks. He says it wasn't rude, but I disagree. Please, what say you? Backwards in Iowa. Backwards in Iowa, girl, what is the problem? What is the problem? So the man likes dessert first. He's not the first person I've ever heard to do that. It's actually a habit I've been thinking about picking up. Because, like, normally after I eat my meal, I have no room for dessert. And really, what I really want is fucking dessert. So I actually think your husband is onto something. Like, order the dessert first. Just get the thing you really want first. So when you say this is a terrible habit, I don't get it. Girl, if you don't let that man order what he wants, relax. Relax. So the man likes dessert first. So what? Like, so what? Are you leaving part of the story out? Is he diabetic? Does he have health problems? Because if that man is in good health and just likes his dessert before his meal, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up and relax. I think you should ask yourself why you're so embarrassed by it. I would be just gushing over my person. I really would. Someone who knows what they want and is willing to get it for themselves. That's so badass. Why are you embarrassed? You might be married to the wrong person, because why is that embarrassing to you? Just my 2 cents. All right, our last letter comes from Miss Manners. Dear Miss Manners, what is the proper etiquette for disembarking a plane when the aisles are full and someone's bag is several rows behind them? I was getting off a flight when a couple in the row in front of me tried to get other passengers to retrieve their large carry-on bags from the overhead compartments 4 rows back and pass them up to them. When that didn't happen, the man pushed back through those of us standing in the aisle. When I suggested he wait a minute or two and we be clear out of his way, he very loudly told me that I didn't know disembarking etiquette and that everyone behind him should have waited for him to get his bag. It would be helpful to have your input for our collective travel in the crowded skies. First of all, let's start here. Why are all of y'all up in the aisles? What is that? Why is it that when the plane stops, everybody needs to get up and stand in the aisle? That's really the problem at hand. When you think about it, that's really the issue at hand. So in some ways, I can see that man's point of view, because why are y'all all up right now? Okay? It's not your turn to go through. Y'all should still be in your seats. I don't know what that is. Like, the plane stopped and all of a sudden everybody is in the fucking aisles. It's so annoying. So I see his point, because if all of y'all hadn't been standing up in the aisle, he would be able to go back and get his luggage. But at the same time, like, I'm not passing you your luggage. So no, I don't think y'all are wrong for not passing his carry-on luggage. I think y'all are wrong for being stood up in the fucking aisle. And since everybody was standing up in the aisle, I think that's just a thing that happens. And this dude has got to relax and just wait, like, for people to get off the plane. Unfortunately, that's my 2 cents.